Got another replay from ODM's Hardest Warrior versus Pop Z. Don't know if this was a quick battle or something. And the return of the laser dino. Let's do it. For the Lizardmen. Backline of Saurus looks like 3 Saurus with spears. Nope, 4. 5. Oof. 5 Saurus with spears with shields. Then we have 5 skink cohorts with javelins, 2 chameleon skinks, an ancient salamander, a solar engine Bastiladon, a Bastiladon with a rev crystal, and then a life slong. A lot of pew pew. On the other side for the Wood Elves, we have the Sisters of Twilight up on their dragon. Haven't seen them in a while. Double Zoats. Some Eternal Guard with shields. Looks like 5 of them. Then 5 Glade Guard. Mix of Starfire Shafts and Hagbane Tips, though mostly Starfire Shafts. And we have a Spell Singer of Shadows with just Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. Solar Engine is teeing off onto the Sisters of Twilight. Looks like it has been hitting them for the most part. And Chameleon Skink's also going to be a bit of a pain. Though now the Wood Elf Archers are getting into range, they will be counter-firing, and the Saurus are advancing to take their place in the front line. Realizing what kind of game this is going to be, they'll move up and go fight it out. Sisters of Twilight taking a lot of damage. They're going to have to be careful. They have their own healing from the Conjoined Destiny or whatever, but still. Solar Engine now firing at random Glade Guard. Does a little bit of damage. Ancient Salamander will also be teeing off onto those guys. And Melkoth has popped on the Chameleon Skinks. Really want to try and shut them down, I guess. But Sisters are not being very careful. They've taken about a third, closer to half their HP. Just for dicking around in front of the enemy army. 1 Chameleon Skink is pushed off. What are the Glade Guard shooting at? Nothing. The Glade Guard are not firing right now. And I don't know if that's part of just like ranged units being buggy or whatever. Sometimes if ranged units have fire at will on, but they don't have specific orders, they won't fire at anything, and then it's really sad. But those Glade Guard do need to start shooting. Sister's still diving around a bunch. Yeah, look at them, man. Look at them here. It says they're moving, which they're not. They're just standing around. Bound Banishment from the Salon. Gonna go through some more Glade Guard. Sister's getting very low, and the Saurus are on the front line. Saurus can beat Eternal Guard pretty easily, so these archers are gonna have to make a big difference. Looks like some of them are starting to fire now. But others are not. These ones still think they're moving, even though they definitely aren't. And they have Firewall moving, so that's not even an excuse. Both Chameleon Skinks have been pushed off at one point. The Sisters of Twilight taking a ton of damage, and the front line is still engaged, but it's up in the air who's going to win right now. Saurus grinding through these Eternal Guard, but Zoats are here to offer support, and there are archers. 2 of the Glade Guard have already been routed off. And Skink cohorts have thrown all their javelins, so 5 more chaff units are about to enter the fight. Sisters of the Twilight diving into melee with the Ancient Salamander. But the Bastiladon trying to give them that blinded debuff that comes with this thing. And that would make them very susceptible to damage, because the Sisters don't have the best melee stats. 48, 42. So minus 24. 24 is brutal for them. Glade Guard falling back. Some of them are still firing. That one still, man, it thinks it's moving, but it's not, so it's not shooting. But, like, again, you have Firewall moving, so even that... 4.1. Why are you so buggy? Sisters are pushed off. Their Conjoined Destiny is popped, so if they're still alive in a couple seconds, that will give them a little bit of a heal. The 4 single entities in the back are still chilling. Glade Guard are here trying to fire, and the Saurus are slowly winning that frontline fight. Some sort of heal is coming for the Ancient Salamander. Looks like it is a regrowth. Sisters of Twilight, boom, get their heal, and they are back, though they get smoked immediately by the Solar Engine shot. Funny. Alright, Skinks are breaking through the front line, starting to hunt down the Wood Elves and their little Glade Guard. And Zoats are still fighting. They're doing their best. I mean, most of the front line being spears is pretty brutal for them, but it is what it is, I suppose. Lizardmen appear to be advantaged. I would agree. Well, that Solar Engine's run out of ammunition. The Sisters juking as best they can to waste this ammo from the back line. And Zoats are also... Ooh, Zoats could do some good damage if they get a good surround onto one of those guys. Other Zoats are kind of acting like pseudo-cavalry, trying to save these Glade Guard from the skinks. There's a lot of skinks. Sisters get smoked yet again. Another Conjoined Destiny is popped. We'll see when it goes off and if they rout in the meantime. They can't afford to rout too much. They've already routed once. If they rout again, that's going to be brutal. A Blood Statue of Spite, just trying to damage them down a little bit more, but that's not the best target to use it on, unfortunately. And the Sisters will get a big heal here in a second, I imagine. 5 more seconds on that. Zoat's trying to fight in the back line, but a bunch of Saurus and Skinks came back to offer support. Boom, another chunk of healing for the Sisters of Twilight. Zoats are pushed off. And the backline fight continues. Zoat's now stuck fighting Saurus, which is terrible for them. They don't like that at all. Some of these Skinks have lost the plot. They're getting kited by archers a little bit. Sisters of Twilight trying to offer support. Zoat's running away from the backfield. I will play it ×2 for just a second as we do a bit of Benny healing. Zoat's running away from those Saurus. Now his archers try and kill them off. Other archers have peeled away the Skinks. Some Skinks were remembered and coming back. So the Wood Elves are getting a bit of a backline for themselves to rely on. But the Lizards still have a bunch of random chaff to throw at you. And they have an Ancient Salamander and a Bastildon. In the back line, Zoats will be pushed off once more as Chameleon Skinks shoot them and Saurus poke them. Lifesteal is very healthy. Balance of Power is almost army losses territory for the Wood Elves. Melkoths should peel off these Saurus Spears and give these Glade Guard more room to shoot. They push off a Chameleon Skink. Sister of Twilight dueling with an Ancient Salamander. Now, a lot of Lizard Balance of Power is in their healthy single entity, which could take a lot of damage from these Glade Guard, who do, besides this one Hagbane tip, the rest have armor-piercing Starfire Shafts. And we have anti-large armor-piercing Zoats. And then we have an armor-piercing good duelist in the Sisters of Twilight, who are getting another Conjoined Destiny proc. I think the Balance of Power is a little ahead of itself here. Just a little bit. Zoats are in, and archers have a good surround. Now, there's not a lot of the archers left. They've all taken significant damage, but still, they'll get decent damage out, and a beautiful breath attack from the Sisters of Twilight. Damage that Rev Crystal, trying to get rid of that healing that remains. And the Zoats are fighting. Bopping away with their big rock clubs onto the armored hides of these solar engines. Sisters of Twilight have heal-capped themselves, it appears. That are darned close to their Conjoined Destiny. All of a sudden, the Balance Power is like, wait, maybe this game isn't over. Skinks are routing. The Bastildon Rev Crystal's almost routing. There it goes. And the Sisters push off the Ancient Salamander. All these units are routing, and the Balance Power continues to get better and better for the Wood Elves. Saurus and Skinks marching into the backline, trying to harass the archers. The archers are running out of ammunition. One has 12, but then we have 4, 9, 8, and 3. Big rout for the Lizards, like we said before. Ancient Salamander getting a regrowth, while some Saurus and Chameleon Skinks rally with the Life Salon. The second Zoat that we lost a long time ago is back. Back at it again. Still have one Bound Flesh Stone. Yeah, both Bound Flesh Stones are still around for the Zoats. No Earthbloods left for them. Solar Engine rallies. Ooh, the Rev Crystal was focused down, though. He shattered, which is bad for Lizardmen. They wanted to use some more of that healing. He had 4 of his charges left. And the Salon, I've seen a couple regrowths out of him. I maybe would have wanted a regrowth onto Saurus, honestly. With the way this game is going, regrowths onto the single entities is pretty whatever, but getting a regrowth onto a tanky spear like that, they can withstand a lot of damage. Shield the Old Ones offering a bit of support as the Ancient Sally tries to kite a little bit. The Sisters are going to land on the Solar Engine, try and take him out, since he was just a bit isolated. And the Archers, in the meantime, yeah, they're all firing at the Saurus. They want to take those guys down. Can't say I blame them. More damage, another Melkoths, and another regrowth, but it's onto the Solar Engine that has no ammo. I really don't like that decision. I think that would have been better used on the Saurus. So here's a big fight as the Ancient Salamander now out of ammunition, and the Bastildon and the Salon all try to gang up on the Sisters of Twilight. And Zoats riding to their aid. Yeah, you better run. Ancient Sally's going to get bodied. Balance of Power still thinks Lizardmen have a pretty significant advantage. I disagree. I kind of understand where it's coming from, because it sees the Sisters are so low and all these Archers are so low, but like that Salon has no DPS threat left, man. He's got nothing. Does he even have Blood Statuettes? No, he doesn't have anything. His last banishment pokes some Glade Guard a little bit. 4 volleys, 3 volleys, 5 volleys left on them. They're all still firing in. The Shadows Caster is stuck in the middle of all those guys, just trying to get a little bit of damage out. Blade Guard are joining in as regular units, but a Breath Attack directly above from the Sisters of Twilight does a little bit more damage to that Ancient Salamander. And another regrowth comes out for the Stylodon. I would have liked to see some of that healing on Saurus earlier. Damn. Sisters dive back in, take a bit more damage, gonna run away. The Widow's running danger low on ammo. 2 volleys left, 2 volleys left, 4. Chameleon Skinks are here. They should have fire at will on. Looks like they do not. So they should be shooting at the Sisters of Twilight right now, but they're not. Skinks get Melkoth. Melkoth. That is a hard word to say. They get spelled. There's a spell that hit them. The Stella Solar Engine gets routed off by all the Wood Elf arrows coming in. It's hard to see on the desert, but they are there. Sisters of Twilight take a little bit more damage as they dive in onto the Salamander. And the Slan sits patiently, taking the damage that he has to take. Some more Saurus have rallied in the distance. Skinks have rallied in the distance, though none of them are coming back just yet, so it looks like the Lizardman micro is slipping a bit. And how are archers doing? 3, 1, and 0 for ammunition left. The Lizardmen are just content to sit here and do nothing. I am shocked that their Chameleon Skinks are not firing. That seems like a huge mistake. Now the Slan seems to wake up and these guys start moving again. Chameleon Skinks get shattered off. Some late game whoopsies from the Lizardmen. Archer's running up. 2 volleys left on one of them. That is the only ammunition left in the game. Another Melkoth Mystifying Miasma onto the Saurus. And imagine if these guys have gotten regrowths. You'd be in this late game situation with these archers with almost no ammo and you have these Saurus left. Ugh. 'Tis a shame. Life Slan's in there fighting. Throws down a shield of the old ones to keep the spears in. I hope he has Cold-Blooded up, if he's going to keep their leadership high. They rout off a Glade Guard. There's a bit of kiting around as Sisters of Twilight chase something else off. I don't think these guys can do it unless he has another regrowth for these Saurus, but I extremely doubt it. Archers are back. They fire the last of their volleys. Saurus Spears do Terror Rout. Slan is left alone. The Sisters of Twilight get down to 800 HP while heal capped. But I don't think the Slan is going to be able to rout all this stuff. Shield Hill one's keeping him in it for a bit, but... And the Lizardmen are defeated, with the balance of power being 50-50 until that last shot landed on the Slan. It's a good game overall. Some mistakes made on both sides. Some of it due to bugs, some of it just due to decision-making. Sisters of Twilight, for all that effort, didn't pay for themselves. Zotes did fine. Shadows Caster did fine. Glade Guard ended up doing very well. And Eternal Guard struggled. On the other side for Pop Z, Life Slan did well. Solar Engine honestly did well. Ancient Salamander did well. Saurus did okay. Yeah, mixed overall. Chameleon Skinks did well. Skink Cohorts of Javelins did very well. Good game. Roar!
Subscribe, yes, yes.